a second. So, there's a reason I have the box score for Dallas versus New York. If you remember last week's stream, which you can actually go back and watch, you'll see that I picked the Giants to win this game. I'd say that was a very great prediction. I figured, let's have an upset week 1. I think that would be fun. Dallas Cowboys walk straight into New York, or New Jersey as it were, and proceed to put up 40 points against the Giants. 40 points. It got so bad for New York that Tyrod Taylor ended up getting some action, as you can see, getting 2 passes completed for 6 yards. So, I don't know what to say other than, we got it wrong. Okay, it happens. I was calling for an upset. We didn't get an upset. So be it. What I do want to talk about with this game, though, is those 2 defensive scores that the Giants gave up in the first quarter. First, they gave up a kick 6 because it was a blocked kick for Graham Gano. Noah, how do you say this guy's name? Noah Igbogne. Somebody on Dallas, however you pronounce his name, he blocked the kick and returned it for a touchdown. Now, their second defensive score in that quarter was a pick 6 by DaRon Bland. The reason I'm drawing attention to that pick 6 in particular is because Daniel Jones has credit for 2 interceptions, but when you go back and watch that, it was the same thing that happened in Lions versus Chiefs with Kadarius Toney. He dropped that pass that went for an interception. So, if you ask me, I'm going to credit Daniel Jones with 1 interception. Alright, that Stephon Gilmore pick that he threw, that was just a bad throw. Nothing he could have done. Well, he could have done something about it, but no, it was a terrible, terrible throw. No question that it was a Daniel Jones pick. But like I said, this pick 6 by DaRon Bland, I'm going to credit Saquon Barkley with that. Alright, I'm not going to hold Daniel Jones to that interception because, it was a drop pass. And, yeah. So, anyways, how's everybody doing? That was quite the start to the show so far. Couple things one thing I want to address here. I'm trying a different setup with my screens, so if I'm looking to the side, I have my OBS over here. I might put it back on one of my other screens, but I'm going to do my best to not look like a complete idiot. But yeah, let's talk about some scores that happened this weekend. So obviously Thursday night, 21-20 Detroit beats Kansas City. I made a quick little video about that. If you guys want to check that out, it is on the channel. Carolina falls to Atlanta, I should say, 24-10. Cincinnati falls to Cleveland, 24-3. Jacksonville walks into Lucas Oil, 31-21. That was a good game. That was a very good game to watch. Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. Tampa Bay comes out 20-17. Tennessee versus New Orleans, 16-15. Saints get a victory there. San Francisco embarrasses Pittsburgh 30-7 on the road. Arizona heads over to DC to take on the Commanders. 20-16 Washington. Houston falls 25-9 against Baltimore. Green Bay 38-20 over Chicago. Las Vegas 17-16 over Denver. Philadelphia versus New England 25-20 Philadelphia. Rams beat Seattle big time 30-13. That second half just nothing for Seattle. Obviously Dallas versus New York, which you just saw. And then Monday Night Football. The first overtime game. Jets win 22-16. We'll get to that a little bit later on. I got a little more I want to talk about with that game. So, a couple things that I want to go over. We're just going to go over a couple of games here. So, like we said, Dallas just outplayed the Giants. There's absolutely no question about that. Next, we're going to briefly go over... Actually, I want to talk about stats for Cowboys here. So, Dak Prescott, 143 yards, 13 for 24. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but, I mean, when your defense is putting up points on top of Tony Pollard being able to rush in for 2, along with Kevontae Turpin, which I believe was near the end of the game when that happened. But, no, Prescott... He doesn't really have to do much, so I'm not really going to be judging him at the moment. Cooper Rush also came into the game near the end. 0 for 1, but hey, what are you going to do? Daniel Jones, 15 for 28, 104 yards. 1 interception. 1 interception. All right, every box score is going to show 2 interceptions. We're only going to credit him with 1 because it was a Saquon Barkley drop. Speaking of Saquon, 12 carries for 51 yards, no touchdowns. No touchdowns. Dallas receiving was led by CeeDee Lamb, 4 catches for 77 yards. Dallas didn't have any receiving touchdowns. Tony Pollard really put up the offensive touchdowns for them. And like I said, Kevontae Turpin late in the game. So, again, not really enough for us to discuss what the Dallas offense looks like. Because, I mean, when you're up 36-0, or 26-0, I should say, in the second half, and Giants haven't done shit that game, you really don't have to do much. You just have to not turn the ball over. And really, Dallas didn't turn the ball over, so what can I say? Jets receiving was led by Darren Waller, 3 catches for 36 yards. Again, no touchdowns through the air this game because the Giants didn't put a single point on the board. Let's see. Isaiah Hodges lost a fumble. That's what I was looking for. I knew he lost one. On defense, Marquise Bell and Jason Kearse, I believe it's pronounced, led Dallas with 8 tackles by Bell and 7 tackles by Kearse. Micah McFadden led New York with 11 tackles on this game. Deron Bland got the first pick that led to the pick 6. Stephon Gilmore, just your general interception by Daniel Jones. As for the kicking, Brandon Aubrey, 2 for 2 on this game. Although, he did miss an extra point. Keep that in mind, he did miss an extra point. And Graham Gano, he had the blocked kick, but there was another kick that he just missed on. Let's talk about the Packers versus the Bears. 38-20 Packers win. Jordan Love looking pretty good so far. First year without Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Jordan Love, 15 for 27, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. We're going to circle back to this a little bit later on, but he had 3 touchdowns during this game. Justin Fields for Chicago, 24 for 37. 216 yards. He had a touchdown, but he also threw an interception. Now that one, when you watch it, that one is a Justin Fields interception. It's not a dropped pass. We're tracking the ones that get dropped that lead for interceptions, but we're not going to call those on the quarterbacks. We're going to call those on the receivers that dropped them. See, Aaron Jones led Green Bay with 41 yards on 9 carries. A.J. Dillon had 13 carries for 19 yards. That's going to be something to keep an eye on this season. Khalil Herbert for Chicago, 9 carries for 27 yards. And even Cole Kmet got in on the action. Didn't go anywhere, but hey, what are you going to do? Aaron Jones had 86 yards and 2 receptions. Lucas Musgrave, 50 yards on 3 receptions for Green Bay. On Chicago's side, Darnell Mooney, 4 catches for 53 yards. Cole Kmet, 5 catches for 44 yards. Let's see, tackle leaders, Darnell Savage, 8 tackles. Kashan, however it's pronounced, Mr. Nixon, and Rasul Douglas, both getting 8 tackles for Green Bay. And Devondre Campbell, 7 tackles for Green Bay. When you look at Chicago, TJ Edwards, 14 tackles. That sticks out. Tremaine Edmonds also getting 8 tackles. Jaquan Brisker, 7 tackles on the game. Quay Walker got that interception on Justin Fields earlier. Anders Carlson, he only had 1 field goal, but he converted on all of his extra point attempts. As for Carlos Santos, 2 field goals. He didn't get any extra point attempts, it looks like. But yeah, 2 field goals. Titans versus Saints. Ryan Tannehill, 16 for 34, 198 yards, 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions. All those were on him. All 3 of those interceptions are being credited to Ryan Tannehill. Derek Carr, 22 for 33, 305 yards. Not a bad debut for the Saints. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I forgot to mention Ryan Tannehill did not throw a touchdown this week. Derrick Henry, 15 carries, only 63 yards. No touchdowns. Jamal Williams, 18 carries, 45 yards, no touchdowns. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins making his Titans debut. 7 catches, 65 yards. Very, very good. Would have liked to see him get a little more, but, for how close of a game this was, that's really good. That's really, really good. Chris Olave leading the Saints with 8 catches, 112 yards. No touchdowns for either team there. Let's see. Let's move down to the defense. Kevin Byard, 9 tackles. Demario Davis, 10 tackles for the Saints. Also, Elijah Molden getting 8 tackles along with Jack Gibbons. So pretty good day on defense for Tennessee. Pete Werner, 8 tackles on the Saints. Marcus May, 6 tackles for the Saints. Not bad. Amani Hooker got that pick against Derek Carr. 3 Saints players got picks against Ryan Tannehill. Marcus May, Marshawn Lattimore, and Paulson Adebo. Sorry. Kicking game, Nick Folk, 5 for 5. Blake Group, 3 for 3. Raiders versus the Broncos, the other big quarterback debut. Jimmy Garoppolo, that's who it is. Jimmy Garoppolo, now playing in Vegas, 20 for 26, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Russell Wilson, is he fixed? 27-34, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Is he fixed after 1 game? I don't know. I'm going to say no. Josh Jacobs leading Vegas, 19 carries, 48 yards. Javonte Williams for Denver, 13 carries, 52 yards. Samaje Perine, I believe it's pronounced, 8 carries for 41 yards in Denver. Now, Vegas receiving, 2 touchdowns, both by Jacoby Myers, 9 catches for 81 yards. Samaje Perine, again, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. 4 catches, 37 yards. Adam Trautman, 5 catches, 34 yards. Courtland Sutton, 4 catches, 32 yards. And Brandon Johnson, 2 catches, 31 yards. So it's getting spread out here. Not a bad thing to see. 1 touchdown for Courtland Sutton. And Lil Jordan Humphrey is his name. Lil Jordan Humphrey. He had 2 catches for 11 yards. 1 of those went for a Broncos touchdown. On defense, Nate Hobbs leads Vegas, 12 tackles. Alex Singleton leads Denver with 8 tackles. Kareem Johnson, he finally got that interception against Jimmy Garoppolo. Daniel Carlson, 1 field goal, 2 extra points, so he's perfect on the day. Will Lutz missed a field goal today, or this week. I keep saying today, goddammit. Will Lutz missed a field goal, 1 for 2. See, it looks like he also missed an extra point, 1 for 2 there also. Finally, we're going to go over Bills versus Jets real quick. Let's pause that video. We don't need to see that. Josh Allen, 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions. All of them were on him. 29 for 41. Motherfucker threw 41 passes in this game. Let that sink in. 41 passes. He's only completing 29 of them. 236 yards, 1 touchdown. Let that sink in for a moment. Alright? Bills, I'm not sure that this is time to panic, but that was absolutely pathetic. Aaron Rodgers, 0 for 1. We'll circle back to this. Zach Wilson, 14 for 21, 140 yards. Threw a touchdown, but he also threw a pick. James Cook leads Buffalo with 12 carries, 46 yards. Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook both getting double-digit receptions. Dalvin Cook only getting 33 yards. Breece Hall, though, 127 yards. I said receptions. Carries. Stephon Diggs leads Buffalo. 10 receiving. Jesus, I'm all over the place. 10 catches, 102 yards. He did have the touchdown. He did have a touchdown in this game. The only Buffalo touchdown. Allen Lazard, 2 receptions, 46 yards. Garrett Wilson, 5 catches, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Again, that's the only offensive touchdown for the Jets in this game. Now, on the defense, Terrell Bernard, 11 tackles. DJ Reed, once again, 11 tackles. Quincy Williams getting 10 tackles for the Jets. Matt Milano for the Bills, 8 tackles. He also did have that interception. Matt Milano, he had that interception on Zach Wilson. Jordan Whitehead, 3 interceptions. All 3 of Josh Allen's picks all went to Jordan Whitehead. All 3 went to Jordan Whitehead. Let's see. Kicking, Tyler Bass, 3 for 3. Greg Zuerlein, 3 for 3. Punt returns. We're going to mention punt returns here. Xavier Gipson. He had that punt return that would seal the victory for the New York Jets. And people are talking about putting an asterisk on that. They're saying there was a tripping that did not get called. And I'm okay if they want to put an asterisk on the return. But I think when you look at how likely it is that the Jets would have won the game, even with tripping being called, I mean, at that point, the Jets could just kick a field goal and win it. So, if they want to put an asterisk on the return, I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to put an asterisk on the final result. Because the return, yeah, they probably could have called tripping, but hey, it would not have changed the outcome of the game overall. So let's check in on our prediction record. For week 1, we went 11-5. 11-5 is not bad. You know, that's a playoff record. 11-5 is actually pretty good for this week. Now, what is my goal as the season rolls on? Well, I'll tell you what my goal is. Overall, I want to try to finish above 500. All right, if we can predict about 50% of the season, I think I'll be happy with that. Now, my end goal, however, this is what I really want to try to achieve. I want to try to see if we can predict a record that would earn us a playoff spot. So, our goal is to try to get 70% of the picks correct. All right? 70% of the picks. That would pretty much give us a playoff spot. So, if I can finish at least 7-10 each week, then, well, I guess I can't really say that. But, no, overall, if we can get enough predictions correct to have a playoff spot, I think I'll be satisfied with that. I would be very, very happy if we can do that. Now let's go back to the Jets real quick. So Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be out for the season, torn Achilles. That's tough, you know. It sucks that we got to be doing that with him this early in the year. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, Jets don't have Aaron Rodgers this season, so the pressure on Zach Wilson is going to be back. I would expect there to be even more pressure now than before Aaron Rodgers came in, because everyone's looking at the Jets and saying, this team's a playoff contender. You know, my predictions have them making the playoffs. So I feel like there's more pressure on Zach Wilson now than there was his first couple years in the league. How is that going to affect him? I'm not sure. Because we've already seen with him that when he's got a lot of pressure on him, he's not doing very well. So here's what I think is going to happen with Zach Wilson. Assuming the pressure doesn't get to him. If we go based on his stats here from this game alone, he should be on pace to throw 2,380 yards and 17 touchdowns. 217 yards, 2,380 yards, 17 touchdowns. Now, what if the Jets were only able to score 22 points all season? The reason I'm picking 22 is because, obviously, that's how many games or how many games? That's how many points the Jets scored this week. So if the Jets were able to score 22 points all season long, and we base that on how many points their opponents scored all season long, then the Jets would be on pace to finish 10-7 this year. Now, here's what I want to draw everybody's attention to. If we look at playoff predictors here, they should finish 11-6 based off of this right now. All right, Jets should be able to finish 11-6. Now, here's what's interesting. If I click on Buffalo and say Buffalo won that game, there's your 10-7. Now, obviously, Jets came away with the victory, so they should be able to finish 11-6. So, is this a very good comparison to use? Probably not. But this is what I feel like they're on pace to do if we go based on that formula. So, like I said, they're on pace to finish 10-7. Playoff Predictors now has them at 11-6. And, of course, that's based on my original preseason predictions. Now, do I want to make any changes to my predictions in week 2? I don't think so. If there was any changes I want to make for week 2, it would be Jacksonville and Los Angeles. Those would be the 2 picks that I really would want to change, but I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to change those picks. I'm going to leave that for now. But yeah, that's my picks for week 2. It's going to be the same as my original predictions. So yeah, just a quick recap of, since we're on the screen, Kansas City, Ravens, Buffalo, Tennessee, Colts, Dolphins, and the Browns. I have them all winning. I've also got Washington, Dallas. Yes, Jets fans, I have Dallas winning this game. And if we go based on my previous formula of every team scoring the same amount of points each week, you would be losing this game regardless. Yes, I know that puts the Giants at 0-17. Shut up. In the NFC, though, Eagles, Bucks, Packers, Lions, Niners, Giants, and Saints I have winning in week 2. So like I said, I'm not going to change any predictions for this week. We might change them week 3, but for right now, this is what I want to stick with. So we're going to take a quick break because I need something to drink here. When we come back, I got something fun planned. Alright? These first couple weeks are going to be interesting to see because there's not really a ton of stories being developed. And, I mean, yes, I know the Aaron Rodgers injury, but I'm going to give it a couple weeks before we really start deep diving into everything. So, like I said, I'm going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. something cool to show you guys. So, I get ready to start the stream again, and I checked my phone one last time after I got a quick drink, and as soon as I turned my screen on, I saw that I had a package get delivered today. Inside of this box, you know those like carnival spinners that you see, like those prize wheels? So I got one of those because I have an idea for some videos that I'm gonna be working on. It's gonna be a while before I pump those out, but no, I have some ideas that we're gonna use for this. This actually just came as we were streaming, so yeah. But we're not really gonna do an unboxing right now because I gotta assemble that, put it together. But no, I got some video ideas that we're gonna be using with that. Yeah, I'm surprised that it came in during the stream. So, anyways, let's get back to what we're actually gonna be doing today. So, every week, ESPN and NFL, yada yada yada, everybody does their own little power rankings. I'm gonna do something similar, only it's not necessarily gonna be power rankings, and I'll explain that momentarily. So, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be doing weekly rankings based on how each team performed. Is that what power ranking is? Yes, but are we going to treat it like power rankings? No. Why? Because I'm going to reset the board every week. Alright, so like say the Chiefs are first ranked heading into this week. Well, next week's stream, they're not going to be first ranked. They're going to start blank, So a couple quick rules for this. This is going to be based off of an opinion, alright? Because everybody's got their opinion. So that's why we're doing this. We're doing this to have some fun. Like I said, rankings are going to be based off this week alone. Next week, everybody starts fresh. Now, each ranking is going to be based off the overall team, not individuals. So like Josh Allen, he played like shit. I'm not going to say, oh my god, Buffalo's the worst. No, it's a team performance that I'm going off of. I'm going to be as fair as I can while doing this. So if you get angry because I said, I don't know, if I say the Packers did better than, I don't know, the Patriots, we'll say. Well, too bad. We're having fun. A lot of these are going to be based off of highlight. Jesus Christ, what is in my eye? A lot of these are going to be based off highlights because I don't have the resources to watch every NFL game. But no, we're going to be basing this as fair as we can. Let's see, let me just get my thing going here. I got a site that I think everybody should be pretty familiar with. We all know that Tier Maker website, and that is what we're going to be using today. S grade down through F. That's how we're going to be doing this. The way I put teams up is going to be in no particular order. So, like, if I put Carolina in front of Baltimore, that does not mean Carolina was the better team. That just means they end up in the same section. We're going to go from F and all the way up to S. So starting us off in F tier, I don't think there's any question that the Giants are going to belong here. I'm also going to put the Texans here. Alright? Texans, you guys are in panic mode from pretty much week 1. So we're going to put you guys with the Giants here. And I'm also going to put the Seahawks in F tier. Alright? You guys had one decent half. But after you put up 13 points, you didn't do a damn thing against the Rams. Okay? You guys didn't do a damn thing. You guys should be panicking heading into week 2. Leading us off in D tier, I got the Steelers. All right, the reason I'm not putting them in F tier is because they played against the Niners. Do I think the Steelers probably could have put up more of a fight? Yeah, I do. But, you know, I got you guys in D tier. I feel a sneeze coming on, damn. I'm going to put the Panthers in D tier also. You guys, you played against the Falcons, but there really wasn't much to be impressed about with you guys. I think you guys played a little below average. So we're going to put you guys in D tier. And I'm also going to put the Cardinals in D tier. All right, you guys, you played okay against Washington. I think there's more hope as opposed to being in panic mode like a certain Seattle team. So, yeah, there's nothing to really fear for you guys at the moment. That might change as the year goes on, but for right now, you guys are going in D tier. A lot of teams going into C tier. All right, Kansas City. I feel like a lot of people expected more out of Kansas City. I expected more out of them, but I knew that Detroit was going to be a very tough team to play, which is also why Detroit's going in C tier also. Do I think Detroit necessarily made themselves stand out as contenders? Not yet. Not yet, all right? We're going to give it a couple weeks before they end up in some of these higher tiers. A lot of teams are going in this tier, by the way. Bengals are going to be joining C tier. I'm not putting them in D tier. You know, they probably could have gone in D tier, but I'm not going to put them there. I don't think there's much that the Bengals really have to panic about. Alright, they can make the excuse, oh, the weather was bad, Joe Burrow had to wear a fucking glove. Of course he wasn't going to be able to throw it. You guys played against Cleveland, and they were in the same position that you were in. So, I'm not going to say D tier, because yes, I know it was a tough game, but I don't think Cincy really has much to be panicked about. Chicago Bears are going to be joining C tier. There's a lot of hope in Chicago, but a lot of questions of, well, Aaron Rodgers isn't there. Why are we still losing to the Packers? Well, look at your fucking team and tell me why you're still losing to the Packers. Let's see. After Chicago, Jets. I'm going to put you in C tier. Alright, we're going to start you guys here. I could very easily put you into D tier, but right now there's a little bit of uncertainty surrounding you guys. So we're putting you in C tier along with Buffalo. Buffalo disappointed. So, again, another one of those teams that probably could have gone in the D tier. Really, Buffalo's like C and half, but they're gonna go in C tier. Raiders playing against the Broncos. I mean, first off, I don't think Russell Wilson's fixed. I don't think Denver really showed me much that they're fixed. So it's probably gonna be a long year for Denver. But I mean, Vegas, I really don't know what to say about the Raiders right now because they really didn't do much. You know, it's not like Denver's a tough team to play against. And I think I expected a little more out of the Raiders this week. They just couldn't deliver on that. Now, believe it or not, I'm going to put the Eagles into C tier. All right, they played against the Patriots, who actually I'm also going to put in C tier. Patriots played very, very well, especially near the end of the game. They probably would have gone into D tier if it wasn't so close of a game at the end. But Philly, I think we may have expected better out of them. You know, only winning by, 5 or 6 points, whatever it was. I think we expected more out of Philly, so they're going to drop. Whereas New England, they're going to bump up to C tier. Again, I probably would have put them down in D tier, but that final stretch, New England, I think, is in a good spot at C tier. Titans and the Saints. These two teams played against each other. If I was going based on Ryan Tannehill, Panthers in F, yeah, I thought about that, but at the same time, they played okay. They didn't like completely fall out like these three teams did. Again, I easily could have put the Panthers in F, but I think I'm going to be generous and put Panthers in D tier. As I was saying about the Titans and the Saints, I think I expected more to both of these teams, but they played very, very well. They're giving a top 5 pick to Chicago. Probably. That makes sense. I see that. These Titans and Saints played very tough against each other. So I think I'm going to put them in C tier for now. That may change if they start to drop off, but I think for right now, I'm going to put them in C tier. Commanders. Commanders are going in the C tier. I get that they played the Cardinals, but why is Chicago C tier? So Chicago, they play tough against the Packers. Yeah, that's the thing. Is they play tough against the Packers. I don't think they were so bad that I'm going to put them in the same tier as the Steelers or the Cardinals. I feel like the Bears did just enough to stay competitive. They got outplayed. Not a complete failure for them. Washington, they played against the Cardinals. So I think I wanted to see them do a little bit more, but they still played very good. It's only the first week, so I think they're going to be good in C tier for right now. We're also going to put the Falcons up here. They played decent against the Panthers. Nothing that really made them stand out, just like Washington, but I think it's a good start for them in week 1. And the Rams. In my preseason predictions, I had the Rams not doing very well at all this season. I actually had them losing to Seattle. I'm going to put the Rams in C tier. I think the Rams played very well this week. Like I said, this is very volatile to change, but I think C tier is good for the Rams. Starting us off in B tier, I'm going to put Cleveland in B tier for right now. All right, Cleveland, they had the same elements that Cincinnati had to play through, but for some reason, Cleveland was able to execute. Why didn't Cincy execute? So Cleveland's going into B tier. Vikings, that's the Chargers. Vikings are going to get put up into B tier along with Tampa Bay. Both teams played tough. Both teams played very competitive. It was a very close game. I think they both did very well in week 1. So they're both going into B tier. And the Ravens are going to finish off B tier for us. They played okay against Houston, but 25 points. Yeah, we'll see. I'm blanking on the running back that got injured. J.K. Dobbins, I think, got injured. I've not heard about his length of injury. But Ravens are going into B tier. They played good enough. They played better than all these teams, I'll tell you that much. A tier. We're going to start off with the Packers. They walked right into Chicago and just proved that they were the better team that week. Colts, I'm also going to put up here along with Jacksonville. Very entertaining game that these guys played. All right, I don't think there's any denying that these two were two of the best teams or had the best game. But you could argue that the Chargers and the Dolphins also had the best game of week 1. Which, obviously, that leaves us with 2 teams left. Both teams, I think, without question, are going into S tier. Dallas 40-0 against the Giants. And then San Francisco, only giving up 7 points against Pittsburgh. Yeah. These two were by far the best teams of week 1. So that's what I think week 1 looks like. I think everybody is ranked pretty fair. You know, some of these are definitely up for debate, especially with these C-tier teams. Ravens probably could have dropped down to C-tier, but I mean, they pretty much handled Houston that week, so I think B-tier is very, very fair. So that's all I got for you guys today. I forgot to turn my light on. But that is all I have for you guys today. We're going to be coming back to this. You know, I'm going to be grading every team each week based on their performance. Just because you see a team in S tier right now doesn't mean they're going to stay there. So that's all I got for you guys today. Tomorrow is going to be Vikings versus... I'm fucking blanking on that. I just fucking looked at it. Let's see. Of course, my computer's running super fucking slow at the moment. I apologize for this. Vikings versus the Eagles. I got Philadelphia winning this one. Thursday Night Football. I got Philadelphia winning this. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see where you guys rank each team after this week. But yeah, that's all I got. We'll see you guys next week. Have fun.